We're going to start this meeting first by motioning to open the meeting. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion that we open the meeting of the Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation for August 14th, 2013.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome to the Architectural Board of Review and Historic Preservation meeting August 14th, 2013. My name is Curtis Highsmith, and I'm your chair. Introduce your panel here. We have Ham Hogue, Esther Pastor, Christina Redding, Brian Brady. Unfortunately, I don't believe Zach Studenroth will be here this evening, but we do have our historic consultant, our legal consultant, Bo Robinson, and Antoinette, welcome back. We're going to start this evening's meeting with signs, and first application sign, please.
Chairman Tech Solution, 260 Hampton Road, storefront and directory sign.
Is the applicant present?
This is the fourth meeting that has been no representation.
Letter out to the applicant for further clarification. Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn the application for a storefront sign for Tech Solutions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Second application is Peconic Prime Meats. There's actually two applications, one for a glass sign and one for storefront, sorry.
Stacy Menzer, Hampton Signs, 77 County Road, 39A.
Okay. Is there a sign there now? It was removed, correct?
It was removed
All right.
from the
and
prior
this sign
tenant.
is
The prior
smaller.
tenant.
Sorry?
By the prior tenant.
Yes. This actually sign is smaller on the north side than the previous sign.
Yes, it is.
Board members, any comments, questions, concerns about the application?
No.
Any issue with the telephone number that's on the decal or the window?
No.
No, not on the window.
Okay.
Window's fine.
Any public comment on the application? Sorry? Any public comment?
We're not hearing you back here.
You're not hearing me. Can we get a little volume then?
Thank you.
Okay. Since no objection, motion to approve.
Make a motion we approve the application for the sign for Peconic Prime Meats on North Sea Road.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that is both for the window lettering and the sign?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Concludes our sign permits for this evening. First application, historic. Council?
In the file is a decision pursuant to the consensus of the board approving the application. An affirmative vote on the motion will be to approve the application.
For the record, Mr. Chair, Marcia Schaefer, irrevocable trust, 477 First Neck Lane.
Motion to approve written decision by council.
Make a motion that we approve the written decision by our council for Marcia Schaefer Irrevocable Trust.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next application is J.P. Morgan Chase, exterior alterations to bank, window replacements.
I will have to recuse myself.
Oh. Nobody's here anyway.
Is the applicant present?
Abiel Khan, Merit Engineering, representing JP Morgan Chase Bank, 60 Main Street, exterior window replacement.
Is this it? No, this one is. Oh, no. This is the.
Christina, I've looked at the plans. They're nice.
Yeah,
I'm fine with them.
I'm fine with the two.
I've taken a look at them.
What?
I've seen them. They're
Yeah, no, I see it. I have no
Okay.
problem. Is there any public comment on this application? Have you seen it?
Mhm.
You want to make a motion to approve?
Just want to say, have you made any changes to the file set?
I know, since the last one report, nothing.
Record set is intact?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we approve the exterior alterations to the bank and the window replacement, 60 Main Street, J.P. Morgan Chase Bank.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good luck.
Thank you.
Big city.
Next application is E. Victoria Wyman, 78 First Neck Lane, COA, certificate of appropriateness for landscaping and partial clearing of the property. See in the file the application for, or the affidavit of posting, affidavit of mailing, and the application for with notice, and the application for a COA, together with list and with photographs, but without a breakdown of which what's going on here except for just photographs of trees.
Well, let me explain, if I
The
may.
chair is back in the room, so she can
Okay.
direct the chair.
John Bennett for the applicant. I did not file this application. I received a call from Ms. Wyman yesterday. And this is, but for the fact that this is in the historic district, you could just clear it. I think the historic district does contain some restrictions on landscaping for the preservation of significant trees. So I got the call yesterday, and I know the property. I remember the property when the property was nothing but lawn. So what I did is I put on my Maine hunting boots and sprayed off on my pants and the boots and walked in. And while I'm not a botanist, I do enough of this to know that there's nothing on that property but what we refer to as successional field growth. There's nothing significant whatsoever. There are some maple trees that have planted themselves. There are some locust trees. The rest is just it's all field growth.
Are
So
there tags on those trees?
I don't believe that.
So the application itself is
Just
just
to clear,
to,
to be honest, it's just a partial clearing, just to clear whatever she wants in there.
do you have a survey of the various,
Nope, just clear the whole thing. Because there's nothing significant in there. There are no trees of any significance. There are, as I said, in my own memory, that lot was nothing but lawn, and then it was just let go. I would pass by it and say to myself, interesting that the village that isn't doing anything about it, because the village code requires that a property be maintained in a certain order. No action was taken, no action was taken, no action was taken, and now we have what we have, which is brush, some trees. Maybe the tallest tree is 30 feet, 35 feet. No trees of any sort of significance. There are actually some trees in the village of Southampton that are located in a book called Significant Trees of Long Island. Some of those are in the further south state area, but there's nothing of any significance whatsoever in there that would suggest preservation of any sort. So Ms. Wyman is in the process of planning a house for the property, but
John, is this visible from Pond Lane, this lot?
is this lot visible from Pond Lane? It may be. It may be. It's
And
a
it's
four.
visible from Lake Agawam as well?
Yeah, but there's nothing. Again, there's nothing significant
But
on
it's
the
visible,
property.
right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Not on that
Not
plan.
if you're in the roadbed of Pond Lane, you wouldn't see this
You'd
lot.
be looking uphill,
Yeah,
correct?
you'd be looking uphill. Yeah,
Okay.
John, what lot is this?
it's the here. Let me
On the
show you.
subdivision.
Oh, I don't know the lot number, but I have an aerial. It's the lot that fronts. It fronts on. I think it's the lot that fronts on First Neck Lane. It's a 4-lot subdivision, maybe a 5-lot.
four lot,
Essex
four
handled-
lot, I
Essex handled it, I think.
Brian, comments?
No, I don't have a problem with it. I'd like to see it cleared, actually.
I think it should be an improvement, actually.
Christine?
No, I have no comments. I think it's an
There's a
improvement.
person here.
Sure. Esther, any comments?
I have no comments.
Pam?
As always, I'd like to see a survey indicating that, I know you're not a botanist, John, but I'd like to see at least clarification of the photographs that were submitted with compass points on
I
them.
wanna clear the
However,
whole
with
lot.
that being said, I do think I'd like to wait for, there's a member of the public that has a comment.
Oh, certainly.
Any public comment on the application? Please step forward.
Yeah, I'm a neighbor.
If you could step forward and you speak into the mic, we need your name for the record.
Valerie Rooks. I'm at 126 First Neck Lane, and my property is attached to the Wyman property. So I spoke to Victoria yesterday and today, and she said she had no plans for building anything right now, but she had plans to clear partial land. I don't know exactly what that means and what trees are staying and what trees are going, but
Well, the council just mentioned that he wishes to clear the entire lot.
the entire lot?
The entire lot. There's no clearing restrictions. I don't want
No, yeah. The entire,
Because the entire lot, flat.
the entire lot.
Oh, well, that wasn't my understanding. It was partial clearing, but because they tied some yellow ribbons around some of the trees, the big old maples maybe, so.
Do you have any objection to that?
Well, I'd like to see some of the old trees stay.
Okay.
But the field is filled with deer, and it's overpopulated, it's out of control, and nothing has ever been done about controlling the deer there.
Right, but
So-
we're talking about the trees, or so. Do you have a specific objection, or do you want to see what, or indicate what trees are coming down? You're saying they're tied with
What's some
with mark-out ribbons?
near where I could see, I see some yellow ribbons around the trees, and they said those are the trees that will probably be staying.
Well,
So I thought it
Representative
was
here is-
partial clearing.
Yeah, the representative here is speaking on record, and his indication is that the project is to level the entire lot.
Let me clarify, if I
Please.
may. I don't want to be constrained by anything. If the owner wants to go in and save a tree or two, or maybe more than that, that's fine, but I don't think it's appropriate, given the relative age of these trees, to necessarily save any of them. I want to be able to go in and, wipe the slate clean if that's the determination of the applicant. I don't want to be constrained by any sort of limitations. So there may be some trees that would be saved, but I don't want to have to be, forced by any sort of, I don't want to have to be forced to save any. That should be the determination of the applicant, because there are no significant trees on the property. There can be no trees that are older than 35, 40 years. And that's hardly, it's not, a 120, 140-year-old copper beech or something like that, like you'd see on Old Ox Pasture or something like that. These are just trees that seeded themselves. There's no significant, species, and they're specimen trees or anything of the nature. So I don't want to be limited in what can be taken out of there.
You understand? Any other
I'm
comments?
sure if they come down, it'll be nicely landscaped. I mean, it is overpopulated, and it's a mess in there.
So you have no objection?
You
Not really.
can request for more information with this application. You can request for a tree expert to come in, even though John knows this village pretty well. Because the COA, there's a reason for it, and the reason for it is to protect each other's neighbors and let you know what's going on, and that's why you had a posting and a mailing and so
Yes.
forth. So if you feel that you want additional information by the applicant, but I think that the attorney has made it clear that they don't want to be blocked from doing what their legal rights would be. So, but you can ask for a tree survey of the ones that are affecting you, just for the record.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you asking for that?
Do I have to decide right now?
Yes.
Yes.
But do you have any objection? Do you feel that the applicant right now is posing what's best for the lot? Do you feel that their proposal at this time is within keeping and will improve the betterment of your community and your area? Or do you feel that you need the opportunity for a more thorough evaluation? And again, it's not that this board would take it under advisement. We're not saying we will or will not agree to it. We're just giving you the opportunity as a neighbor to voice your opinion.
I think I'll go along with the plan.
Very good. Thank you. Any additional public comment? Anything further from the board? Any issue from the board?
No.
Okay. This properties, you're asking for a COA, so therefore you understand it has to be within a written decision. So we will empower our council to prepare our written decision at our next meeting.
Thanks.
Council, there's no restrictions and there hasn't been anything labeled, so it's just a straight
I
request.
wish we had a survey of what this lot
I
is.
would like to
That's-
see a survey.
That really seems very elemental to have that.
How does that help? It's a lot on the filed subdivision map. I want to clear it. There's been no showing that there are any significant trees there.
It's in the historic district, John. What we're asking for is anything bigger than, say, a 12-inch
Can you
or
get a
18-inch
survey
caliber.
between now and the next meeting?
Sure, that's fair.
Nothing restricted, yeah, we're saying,
Anything bigger than a 20-inch caliper is fine.
as part of the approval, John?
No,
John,
wait a minute. I'm not gonna go and put on the survey, I'm not gonna survey trees on
I
this.
just want a perimeter
Well, that's
survey
what,
of the
that's
lot.
what happened.
No, that's not what we're saying,
Perimeter
please.
survey.
Have us, can we,
You
please?
talked about 20-inch
Can I finish?
caliper.
Can I
Clarify.
finish? What we will do now is we'll empower our council to prepare our written decision. Between now and the time at the next meeting, you will present to the building department copy of the survey and file,
Absolutely.
so we have a complete application.
Absolutely.
For a written
There's-
decision.
Would a copy of the subdivision map be sufficient? I don't know if there's a separate standalone survey. Okay, thank you. All right.
Anything further? Anything further from the board? Motion to adjourn for a written decision by council.
I make a motion that we adjourn E. Victoria Wyman at 78 First Neck Lane for a written decision by our council.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, this, we don't have the full voting on it for the bank, only one sheet.
Why?
I don't know, it's not in the file.
It's tucked in. It's in the folder, is it not?
Yeah, but it's a written, this is in the historic district. How did you vote? and
Sorry, I should,
It's a
approve
written
it?
decision.
Didn't say for
Let's
written
take the revote then.
This is in the historic district, requires written decision.
so shouldn't I have to open it up and,
It's reopened.
okay.
Make a motion to reopen application under historic hearings for JP Morgan Chase Bank, 60 Main Street, for the replacement of windows.
Second.
Make a motion that we wait for council's written decision for said decision. Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
sorry about that.
It's okay.
No problem.
Abstain.
See why we need.
Next
Fine,
application is for Susan
It's
Lillywhite.
okay.
It should really say, on the application.
And a final,
Susan Lillywhite, 68 Jobs Lane, to install 2 bay windows on the property. The applicant present.
it's the applicant present. It's the applicant present. We'll wait for second call. First application, non-historic.
I don't have any issues with the bay windows on this property, Mr. Chair. If you want to move through this, I mean, they're just basically
no
pretty
issues
simple and
either.
straightforward. This way we can close out historic and move on.
Makes perfect sense. Looks good.
You have no objection?
No.
No, sir.
Is there any public comment on the application? This is 68 Jobs Lane. Any public comment? All right, council, we will adjourn for a written decision by council. Motion to adjourn for a written decision by
I
council.
make a motion that we adjourn the application of Susan Lillywhite at 68 Joe Plain for a written decision by our council.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First application, non-historic.
Mr. Chair, Jason Green, 606 Holsey Lane, construction of new 2-story, single-family dwelling, attached garage and pool pavilion.
Applicant present?
Yes.
Step forward. Can you have your name for the record, please?
Yes, good evening. Robert Ortman, Zwerko and Ortman Architects, East Hampton, New York. After our first submission and the board's comments, we made some adjustments and we filed them with you. First of all, we reduced double windows up front to singles on both gables. We removed the eyebrow dormer and we changed the picture unit over the entranceway to a picture flanked by double hungs. We also moved the house back an additional 10 feet from the street, where the zoning is required 60, so we now have 70 feet. The house is designed in a shingle-style residence with red cedar shingles on the roof and sidewalls, compatible with other residences on Halsey Neck Lane. 2 main gable roofs are the dominant features of the front facade. The front porch breaks the front elevation, reducing its massing and pushing the left side of the house back, excuse me, an additional 8 feet. Window and door trim, fascias, rake boards, etc. will be painted Benjamin Moore OC 64 pure white. Windows are well positioned and proportioned in relation to the street elevation. They are double hungs with 8 panes over 1, simulated divided lights with spacer bars. The entry door and side lights and transom with diamond lights, as well as a second floor unit which highlight this main entrance area. A small turret on the left side of the porch provides a cozy outdoor seating area. So we tried to incorporate what the board had mentioned last time, and we resubmitted the elevations.
Thank you. Ryan, comments?
No, I think it's a huge improvement. I'm pleased with the changes.
Yeah.
Christine?
Thank you very much. It really is, looks great.
Esther?
I completely agree. Thank you.
Ham?
I like the change in the window above the entrance. All the changes are good. They're nice adjustments. Landscape buffering.
Yes, we
Yeah.
submitted a,
I wasn't here for the last meeting, so just I hadn't had a chance to take a look at it, but can you break it down for us, please?
Well, sure. We basically have, also, I think one of the board's concerns the last time was water runoff. So we incorporated in the survey that we submitted, dry wells that would take all the roof water into the dry wells. We also have one catch basin.
It's not really our purview for
Alongside
that.
I believe it was a
driveway.
neighbor that made that comment. It was not this board.
Okay, well, the board had asked for it, that's why I was
Ed Hollander,
including
your landscape architect?
it. That's correct.
He addressed the buffering on that.
Right,
south
and we
side.
submitted a series of photographs around the perimeter of the house showing all the landscape buffering that's currently existing.
Very well.
Any public comment on the application? Motion to approve?
Make a motion that we approve the application of Jason Green at 606 Halsey Neck Lane.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Good luck.
Great, thank you very much.
Next application, please.
Next application is Alfred Shatner at 82 Pleasant Close North. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Steiner, yes.
One more time?
Steiner.
Okay, Steiner.
Stephen Salamone representing Alfred Steiner. We were here several weeks ago, and the board had suggested some changes or minor changes in a few of the grills. Consulted with the board, asked them some of these suggestions, and being the architect today, you did make some changes. We'll hand them out for you to look
Okay,
at.
so we do not have the new,
They just came in.
I had them
Yeah.
with us.
if you could hand them into,
They stamped.
he's stamped into our record.
We made a few different things so you can look at it and
Excuse me.
also, I'm not sure if it was in the application, but it's a homeowners association, and they recently gave us their approval also.
Sorry. Thank you.
It's 4 sets of 4 pages.
These are the same? This is the front elevation.
It's the same as the
This is I feel like I just looked at them.
So there-
These are the same, aren't they?
Like I said, there's 4 sets of 4 pages.
It's okay, let's
Two different
collate them.
schemes
It'd be
for-
nicer if you guys could collate first, but just give us a minute to get organized, please. Thank you. This approval from the Pheasant Pond Homeowners Association indicates that if you're gonna, you will need to submit a plan for landscaping, pool, fencing, and any other associated structures. Is that within this package?
That is not within the packet. I'm
Are you
only the
making an application for that?
What's that?
Is it part of your application? Okay, just wanted to clarify. Surveys. I just have front
So
elevation.
the only
I'm looking
difference
at.
between the
Is
two
it the
elevations
diagrams?
realistically is the window, the above the entry.
The grills in both the entry door and the windows above it. Plus, we did a variation of.
Excuse me.
a second.
Excuse me. If there is going to be any discussion, ma'am, if there's going to be any discussion, we please ask that you take it outside. We can't hear the applicant speak. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the other variation is that we
Can
have.
I
an
just interrupt for a second? I have SK4, which shows the front elevation.
Correct.
Now, is there an SK4 original too?
There's 2 SK4s. There's an SK4 with an 8-foot eyebrow, and
And
it's
a six-
denoted right on the
And a
title block.
6-foot
And a
eyebrow?
6-foot eyebrow.
Got it,
So
okay, and
We have
that's
2
all,
schemes there with 2 variations
Okay.
around
Allows
those 2
different-
schemes.
okay, so what are the fundamental differences?
Fundamental differences are we just changed up the design of the window grills. I did some research driving around the neighborhood.
Which is your proposed one?
Oh, I see.
We would like to go with what was originally proposed to the board 7 weeks ago.
Can you
And,
clarify?
It's the one that says original.
Correct.
The original,
The one that says original, correct, with the 8-foot eyebrow.
got it.
If you guys don't like that one, the SK4 with the 8-foot eyebrow would be our second choice. But of course, we want what was originally, well, we would like to have what was originally presented 7 weeks ago.
You're here for just the fenestration over the front entry, is that correct?
Correct.
Would you- okay. No other changes or adjustments?
No other changes or adjustments to the house.
Brian, comments?
My objection was the diamond pane windows. I still feel that the scale of them is just not in keeping with the rest of the house. They're just out of scale. You have these 8/1s, which
Right.
with a light pattern that's maybe 8 inches by a foot, 10 inches by a foot, something
Correct.
like that. And then you have these overblown windows.
Well, that was a requirement or a suggestion by the owner that they didn't want this whole house to just look the same all the way around, so.
Well, introducing diamond pane windows is great, but keep
They're
them
not
the same.
diamonds, they're X's, they're not diamonds.
Okay,
We actually did do a scheme with a diamond pattern, which the homeowner did not like.
okay. Well, I have an objection to that.
I do too. It's not appropriate to the rest of the fenestration, it's not balanced. It stacks, it's tower-like, it looks like a silo.
The changes.
You need
how
to,
this is
to
two
look at
windows.
a relationship of your eyebrow and the two gables, but more importantly,
No.
the drawings that I'm looking at, there's a lot of X's, diamonds, whatever you want to call them. The fenestration is not matching to anything else. It's not independent, and it's stacked. Sorry about that, banded. But you have the eyebrow over what looks to me like almost a clear story. I would focus on this area.
Correct, it's a clear story dormer. The front entry is a 2-story space.
Right, and the projection is, I would just hope that you would relook at that.
Esther, comments?
I agree with my colleagues. I feel the two sides are very balanced, but the middle of the house doesn't really relate to either side.
Christine?
That
I
was
agree.
pretty much done intentionally
I
to
agree with
kind of
my
mirror
board
what was
members.
done in the back.
These are conversations that we had in our last meeting, and I think the only changes that you really made were you stacked the crosses and increased the eyebrow, which were two of the elements that I think Brian said just overscaled to begin with, and not within keeping. So it really wasn't, there was no deviation and change. Sorry?
Very little.
When I inquired last time, I did ask about proceeding, and you did say, bring the architect, we can make the changes here and get them approved. So we're here to make an adjustment. We bring the plans, we'll cross out, we want to get this right. Okay, the owner would really like to proceed. They've been members of the community for many years. They would really like to get construction going, and we're really talking about a subjective, viewpoint here. So we're willing to work within that. I would like to get this done tonight. I did ask, you said, you told me if you bring him, he can stamp it and we can get it approved. So we're willing to listen, and we're willing, you're here to help and give us the suggestions, so.
Let me just explain to you the responsibility of this board first. And I think we mentioned it before, but let me just reiterate it. This board is not a design board to design the home. We are an aesthetic board to evaluate your proposal and if it's in keeping with both the design of the home and the overall community. So I don't want you to think that we're here just to tell you what you should put into your home.
Correct.
We're here to reflect on what you proposed and then see what we could find a little bit more within keeping, but with your interpretation, not ours. So we don't want to design the home. Do you have another pattern in mind, or have you discussed other patterns?
Those are the two things that we
And
discussed that we
There's been no other
Is it-
discussions.
is it
did
the-
today.
Is it the front window, the size of the front window, or is it the grill pattern that's the problem?
We believe it would be the grill pattern and
Okay,
the
so
size.
is it the intent of the house was so that the front of the house stands out, the two sides would be balanced, and the front of the house would have a presence to it. Is it the diamond pattern that you like better? I think he submitted a diamond pattern, which is very classic and traditional to
Did we have a diamond
village.
pattern?
We'd like to see that.
We,
It is a
We'd
diamond.
like to see,
I've never seen a diamond
I have a
pattern.
diamond pattern
Oh,
as well.
Then the other one that we made
was the original one. Then we put a horizontal bar, which again is a very classic design. I did feel that the diamond pattern was a little too busy. With the sides being like this, the diamond pattern was a little too busy. If that's what you like, that's not really, I felt it was very busy. But with the horizontal in the X, it's a very traditional, classic pattern, and we really want to keep to the classic, very classic Hamptons style. So the big X, we put the horizontal bar on the top, and we made the eyebrows smaller, so it wouldn't be as strong. But if you like the diamond pattern, I can show you that.
Please.
I just need her name for the record. Your name? Teresa, representing the Steiners. I felt it was busy. That's why when I was looking at it again, I did realize maybe the X's on the top window were a little too much. I said, you know what, maybe they have.
Can I just ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you guys explored a true eyebrow window as opposed to one that's superimposed over the shape? Where you have the light cuts that fan out?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that's
the
what's
only
bothering me
reason
to
why that
begin with.
eyebrow window was shown is because
that AutoCAD?
with our AutoCAD drafting software.
What are the intentions of that?
That's off the shelf, Anderson.
Yeah, okay, but what's the intention of the glazing there? Is there a way you can go up and give us a better detail of what that eyebrow is going to be in terms of dimensioning it? I've never seen anything quite like
Can you
it
show them the
before.
photo that you have in your phone
Well,
of the other eyebrow?
Look, you're the architect.
Correct.
Okay. So this eyebrow AutoCAD may be what's throwing a little bit of the view of this off. I understand you're on a schedule and so forth, but if there would be a way of, to me, anyway, not speaking for the other board members, but if there would be a way to delineate exactly what's going on there a little bit cleaner and clearer. So is it, I think so it's a fan-shaped detail that's classic. I mean, the way this is, it seems like it's popped on top of a face. My real issue, however, is not that in so much as the fenestration, light cuts, and the stacking over the front doors and the transoms over those. There's a lot going on. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 levels of different light going up the entrance, and it's, to me, the new diamonds that you're showing here is a step in the right direction, clearly, but I'd like to see a little more softer detail, if possible, that are more in keeping with the other houses, or the other eyebrow windows on most of the houses in the village, which is a classic eyebrow fan style. They're all over the place, and it's in our guidelines as well that we like to look at those examples of the neighborhood and so forth, and perhaps photographs of surrounding houses, photographs of your landscaping and so forth would go a long way to us understanding the location of this house.
Esther?
It's odd. I mean, this is busier, but somehow the scale of this feels better to me.
That's
I
the
think
diamond
it's
pattern.
I think it's the AutoCAD that's throwing it off.
I mean, it's very difficult if you can't grasp 3D looking at a 2D drawing. We do have a model. We do have a 3D model. It's not finished yet of this house, which I think would answer a lot of the questions
Can
about.
you prepare three renderings showing the 3D elevations of what you're proposing
We could print those up and show them
in color,
Yeah.
3D,
Correct.
giving us dimension?
Yep.
And sometimes that gives us a little better eye, because remember, we're looking at everything in one dimension.
Yeah, you're looking at everything one dimension. It's a little difficult.
I think the direction you guys are going in is great, okay? But I also think it's inevitable that we're probably going to request, as your board has indicated, some landscapes and buffering, see what the view is from public right-of-way.
Yeah, so it's a property that's existing, it has full bushes and shrubs.
Just take a couple of pictures of it and the surroundings. We get it.
Actually, it's probably already in the package. It shows the fronts and whatnot, in the big package.
In a big package. Do you have the file down there, guys? I don't want to get off track, but I just have to come back. Mr. Chair, do you want to look at this?
Had this been requested?
I've seen it.
I would have.
Let me just take a peek.
Yeah, these are very mature, very mature.
it's a mature
No, you're-
property.
yeah.
It's,
No,
we're not
no,
taking.
there's no
it's
issue.
good.
There's
Good, I
no
don't have any
issue.
issue.
No issue.
I hadn't had a chance to see these before, I apologize for that, but I would like to see the details that you're just submitting now clarified a bit more. Brian, do you have any issues?
No, I think the diamond pattern is in the right direction. I still think it needs some tweaking. I don't like the transom where it's a different size diamond than the other diamonds. I think that it all needs to relate just like the transoms above the windows.
Right.
The shed dormer above the entrance, up below the eyebrow, if there's something bothering me about it, it's too big or something.
3D.
I think a
We
3D
reduced that.
thing will help that.
We reduced that.
It looks like just where the top of the shed is, where it's protruding from the roof, is the base of the eyebrow. It's very confusing, so perhaps you can show that. But I do agree with you that the diamonds that are laid on its side as the transoms are backwards. It may be difficult to rotate that on the AutoCAD. I don't imagine that was your
Well,
intention.
we actually took the diamonds that we used in the door and just.
But you laid them flat as opposed to vertical.
Well, and copied them right up to the transom.
Yeah, so I assume it's just a paste thing. So if you can do the 3D that cleans that up, that would be great. So it's the eyebrow details, the relationship to the shed dormer, is that
Show,
correct?
show the three separate
And-
entities,
and the light
three
bulbs.
separate
That's it.
proposals. Let's take a look at them.
Three
It's-
separate views,
Exactly.
three
So
different views, or three of the same
we're
view
gonna
with
look at the
different.
cross,
Three of the
the
same.
diamond,
In the windows.
yes, the cross, the diamond, so that we can see from a three-dimensional
The X,
point
the
of view.
diamonds, and whatever the other one was.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm more focused on the diamonds and being able to see those from two different ways. Okay? The landscape is fine, so I think.
It's too much trouble. Take some of that stuff out.
Now,
Wait.
can we bang some blank without grills? And I was here to draw them out. That's what I was told that I can do.
Sorry?
I have some blank windows with no grill patterns, so we can make any changes.
I think the applicant is requesting to make changes here and then
So
re-
what you're proposing now is just a blank window, is that what you're saying?
No.
So that,
No.
okay, I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, if
I
you-
have plans without any grills.
Okay.
We'd like to make some adjustments now if we can and get the approval to make sure that we're going in the right direction. This is the reason was inquiring, I stayed around, I asked you these questions, so, we're being held up.
Are you asking for a recess so that you can,
Yes,
so
yes.
you can
I'd
play
like
with
to come
something
back.
for a little
Yes, I'd
bit?
like to get this done.
That's your
fine with
discretion.
me.
Is that something you think that we could get done tonight, or are we just?
This board's not in a position right now to make a vote on the application.
Okay.
If you wish to come back after a little recess
Okay.
with a new
Yes. well,
proposal, then that's something we will view, but where there's no guarantees.
No,
Okay?
that's fine.
So we won't adjourn, we'll just keep open,
Okay.
and we'll do a recall after, I guess, a couple of months.
You understand what they're looking for?
How are you gonna get a 3D rendering?
They're asking for
If you guys
time
wanna-
to go.
You're not gonna walk out of here tonight with approval.
Yeah, if you guys want to play around with it a little bit so that we're on the same track before you do your 3D, that's what we're saying. Okay, but essentially what we're asking for is a 3D. So not to waste your time. If you want to mock it up a little bit, so you know the direction that you're going in. I think you understand the direction as the architect. Not that you don't either. But as far as the landscape is concerned, I think it's fine. As far as the rest of the building is fine. It's just a cleaning up and tweaking of the center points.
Right.
Is that correct?
But if I was told that the last time, we would have made those adjustments. You weren't here last time.
It's not a
so-
perfect board.
No, and there was a lot of confusion
Doesn't matter if I
last
wasn't
time.
here or not.
But had I known that, I have a homeowner who's really anxious to get going. We're submitting everything that's been requested, and, we're making these changes that are really,
Why don't we see what you come up with in a few minutes, okay? If it's clearly understandable, maybe, as I say, it's up to the chair and up to the board.
You've asked for time, we will
Give me
grant
the
you,
time.
we'll
Thank
grant you the time.
You
to
need
do so.
these to mock up as well?
oh,
They're blanks?
thank you, thank you.
Next application.
Chair, next application is Papatrillo, 21 Hunting Street for addition and partial conversion of garage to pool house.
It's small plans.
Oh, good.
Gary Sanders from Bill Schleit Architect's Office.
Gary, can you just give us a minute?
Sure.
Thank you.
Proceed.
What we're proposing to do is add a small addition to the existing garage to the west. It's, I believe it's 80 square feet. Turn half the existing garage into half garage, half pool house, and extend the existing pergola out to the west of the property. We're going to be enclosing the pool equipment in the structure, so the pool equipment that's outside now will be put inside the structure.
And it's an
And-
80 square foot
Yes.
addition? Okay.
If you look on the plans, it's the little L shape to the plan right there.
And a pergola, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the
Christine,
pergola
comments?
runs along the front.
Brian, comments?
No, it's fine.
Esther, comments?
Lovely.
Pam, comments?
Very nice, very appropriate.
Any public comments on the application? Motion to approve.
Make a motion that we approve the application of Patricia Petrillo at 21 Hunting Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, good luck.
Is Gibbs next?
I'm sorry?
The next applicant is Gibbs?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Are you bragging?
No.
Next application is Ronald Gibbs, 32 John Street, construction half-story addition to dwelling and convert existing garage to a pool house.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna give you that one back.
Okay.
That's the big one.
Many sets.
Thank you.
Gary, any changes to your original application?
No, there's not.
So these mimic, or they?
Actually, I believe the driveway changed to accommodate 3
In
cars.
terms of the structure?
Structure, no.
No, okay.
We're proposing to, if you look on the back.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
All right, proceed.
We're proposing to extrude the existing shape of the house to the back, so it's a 2.5 story house as it stands. And we're gonna be adding, there's no new bedrooms or rooms, so we're just enlarging the space that's there. So we're not adding any additional bedrooms. And we're gonna be renovating the existing garage carriage house that's there. Gonna try to save as much as possible, but it is a little soft around the bottom, so we're gonna try to save as much as possible. But then again, it's still gonna be storage and a little bit of a pool house, wet bar area. All the windows are gonna be Marvin white trim, asphalt roof. If the client has the budget, they'll put a cedar roof on.
Are you proposing cedar roof now or not?
No, it's asphalt as it stands. One of the other things is, right now, there's a enclosed front porch. We're gonna be opening that back up and turning it back into a real front porch on the house.
Christine, comments?
No, I think it's fine.
Brian?
No, I like it.
Esther?
I think it's very charming.
Pam?
Appropriate, that's good.
Modest in keeping, no issues. Is there any public comment on the application? Motion to adjourn? Motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the application of Roland Gibbs, I'm sorry, at 32 John Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your time.
Can I give him the next one?
Next application is South Fork Professional Associates, 686 County Road 39, for amendment of a prior application. Prior approval, rather.
Do we need these extras?
Hello, my name is Lisa Brady, and I'm speaking on behalf of South Fork Professional Associates. This is Dr. Jim Brady and Dr. Henry Morano, part of that group.
muscle.
So I was told by Dr. Frecchia that you have our new drawing.
You want to walk us through it?
Yes. So since we were approved in April of 2012, our buildings have finally been completed or close to completion. And we have sat down as a group and decided that we do not like the roof railings as part of our project. Our project has many beautiful qualities, and to add this roof railing would be a distraction, we believe. We have driven around and looked at different roof railings, and they seem crooked and not very well maintained.
So you're just removing the roof railing?
That's all we'd like to do.
Just one question, was the railing blocking any sort of HVAC equipment up on the roof? Was it used for screening for any purposes of equipment and so forth?
No, we have geothermal energy, and
Okay,
it's all
okay.
below ground.
Just my question.
I
Thank
can
you.
show you a picture of our current project if you'd like to see it.
Yes. I don't have any issues with it.
Brian,
I-
comments?
see, I'm
No,
familiar with
no
the
issues.
building. I think it looks handsome.
Christine?
No. I'm fine with it.
I want to make sure you are up to tricks.
Any public comment on the application? Good luck.
Thanks so much.
Good luck, guys.
Motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the application of South Fork Professional Associates at 686 County Road 39.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next application is for Penny Wallenstein, 177 Downs Path for driveway gates.
Ed Armis, agent for the owners. Just looking to add another set of gates. They would be the same construction and identical to the ones existing now. The same buzzer block apron, and curb cut, and a driveway extension, matching the same materials there now.
Like transparency remains the same, it's already been approved, correct? Same exact thing that was priorly approved.
Exactly, be the same manufacturer, same installer.
Hey, Brian?
No, I think it's appropriate.
Christine?
No, lovely transparency.
No problem. Wonderful.
All right, thank you very much.
Pam?
Refreshing. Transparent.
Any public comment on the application? Okay. Guess he knows he's approved. Motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the driveway gates for Penny Wallenstein at 177 Downs Path.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Marjorie Masters, 30 Bellows Lane, for exterior repairs and dwelling.
Brittany Rigoli of Mark Anthony Associates. As you know, Mrs. Masters' house had been destroyed in a fire. We are building it in the same exact footprint and keeping the same style of the home as well. We're making it code compliant with windows in the bedrooms, so the devastation that happened the last time doesn't happen again this time. And even with those windows, we're keeping it the same style of the home. The exterior blocks didn't suffer any damage because of the fire, so they're all staying there, and which is also helping with her the cost effectiveness, because she doesn't want to spend too much on everything. And the roof structure is changing, so basically everything looks exactly the same, besides the windows on the front, where the bedroom will be.
Pam, comments?
Well, we all know that this was tragedy that happened. It's nice that it's being rebuilt and so forth. I would ask you a couple of questions, though. The brick is staying the same? Is
Yes.
what you're saying?
Yep.
And the fascia, everything else is white?
Mhm.
Everything
Yeah.
else? And the fenestration is, changes are rather obvious. Are there any other changes to the property?
No.
Landscape screening or anything like that?
No, everything is going as is.
Encourage your efforts. Good.
Esther?
I'm fine.
Christine?
No, this is basically repair.
Brian?
Yeah, no, I think it's bringing up the code, that's what it means.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Any public comment on the application? If you have to step forward and speak into the mic, ma'am, you give them the opportunity to speak. Your name for the record, please.
My name's Richard Pursuti. I live in 53 Bellows Court. We live right across the street. I'm not sure from the fire how the exterior of the building can remain unchanged, because from my perspective, and I'm not a professional architect or anything, but it appears to be damaged in a way that it would really need to have the exterior replaced. So I just wanted to make sure that this was something that, you know, if they wanted to obviously rebuild the house in the same footprint, that works, but it really looks, if you look at it from outside, the fire comes through the wall, there's evidence of burning outside, you know, the roof is completely caved in, so I'm just not quite sure how you can just maintain the same structure and just rebuild the inside.
The applicant has requested to be able to use the existing material or a similar material. And it's requested for the fenestration changes to be brought up to code and so forth. And that's what we're deciding on tonight.
If for some reason there are some materials that cannot be reused, by their proposal, they're requesting that they be replaced like in kind.
Gotcha.
So they're looking to duplicate what was there originally, and if there's any damage that needs to be repaired or replaced, it will all be like in kind.
And that's what we're looking at.
Okay.
In terms of an application.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Please step forward.
Hi, Susan.
Maybe you should sit down.
Hi, my name is Susan Blitz, and I live at 88 Bellows Lane. And I have a question, and that is, I know that Southampton is very concerned with how things look and that everything is in sync and everything looks a certain way.
Not the case.
Okay. Now, in that house, I mean, that particular house is so atypical for Southampton, and there is no landscaping involved. I walk there every day when I walk my dog. And it is so, to me, so bizarre. It was very unfortunate what happened to Mrs. Masters. But I just, to me, it doesn't make sense.
The applicant is just looking to replace the property as if it were last year.
Never damaged.
Never damaged. And they have the right to do so. They're not proposing any changes. They're not proposing any new construction. They're not proposing anything. They're just anything other than a replication of what was there. And they have the right to do so.
And they don't have, and the same with any landscaping, they're not.
That's correct. That's correct. That's our guidelines. And just for the record, you know, I used to bicycle ride around that street when I was 10 years old or 12 years old. I'm 56, so it's been around for a while. And there are quite a few differences in types of construction in houses, and there are in our guidelines. We try to keep certain houses or certain directions, certain styles and vernaculars the same. But this has always been a house that's been there for a great deal of time. I can attest to that personally. And it was a tragedy. And however, they are requested and have requested to replace it in kind. It's that simple.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any additional comments? Please step forward.
I'm Leticia Pursuti from 53 Fellows as well. It was the same type of thing. The neighborhood, it seems to be an old neighborhood, very family-oriented neighborhood, and it seems to be turning around. We have some other neighbors who are building a beautiful house, another house just got redone, so the neighborhood seems to be picking up, and it was a terrible tragedy to have lost Mrs. Masters. But for the house that we thought, everyone in the neighborhood, just from looking at it, presumed it would have to be demolished. And, that's what we thought. And to get the same type of, we went today to the buildings department to see if they're going to be doing anything new to it. And it seems they will be putting in, they're going to be enclosing the porch, the patio. They're going to be putting in some windows, because the only windows they have, as you can attest in the pictures, are this big, which were shattered from the heat of the fire. So I guess the neighbors were hoping that we could have something that looked a little, different from what is there now. So I think that's our only concern.
Understood.
I understand.
When it comes to restoring what's existing, if they were completely changing the design and the aesthetics of the building, and now it's a two-story cedar, the windows are different, the configuration is different, that's a new interpretation to the property, and therefore it's before this board for evaluation for its aesthetics. When you're looking to just basically replicate what's already existing, our hands are kind of tied.
Because it was a Bauhaus style built in the 60s, and I don't know much about code, but what I've heard from code nowadays is, windows have to be a certain size, your exits have to be a certain size.
Which they're addressing in their application.
I saw that the windows, the small windows aren't changing at all. That's why I feel they're enclosing the patio. I could be wrong. And they're putting in large windows there and some windows on the other side, but, you're saying that the style of the house won't change much, but it will with these new windows. I mean, I don't know how it will end up looking. I think we're just concerned about that.
Understood.
So,
I understand.
thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments? Anything further from the board?
No.
Anything that the applicant wants to address? You have to step forward.
Like you said, we're just restoring, so had this not happened, none of these issues would have been, have arose. And with the windows, all that, we are meeting all codes, everything with the bedrooms, that's where the new windows are going. I know I could speak for Miss Masters that she grew up in that house, and, she's been there for a really long time. It was her dad's kind of pride and joy. Taliesin, Frank Lloyd Wright, someone that worked for him, designed that house. So it's been in the family for a really long time, and especially with everything that's happened, I know that she would hate to see it have to change as much as everything has changed already for her. So,
if I may, you may want to suggest to Ms. Masters that she consider her neighbors with a landscape plan.
Of course, yes, I was going to say.
And that may be very helpful to the people that
yes,
are on the street.
100%. I totally agree.
Good. Okay.
Anything further from the board?
Yep. No.
Any additional public comment? Motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the application of Marjorie Masters at 30 Bellows Lane.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck. Robert M. Robert at 79 Bishop's Lane for construction of a new two-story single-family dwelling with attached garage and pool house.
What, we're not entertaining?
Good evening, Michael Barringer, the architect for the applicant, Robert Marco Robert.
Second while they
Okay.
disperse.
And I would also like to introduce our builder and design consultant. Gary Hartman.
Design and management.
Gary's going to be in charge of the project, and he's also been, he's worked with the owner on other projects that they've built, and I have also, but he has a large part of the design input.
Sorry, go ahead.
This property is on Bishop's Lane. It is number 79. It's a half-acre lot on the west side of Bishop's Lane as you get close to Hill Street. It's a vacant parcel. We are proposing to build a 4,000 square foot, two-story home. There is a proposed swimming pool and a pool house in the backyard, as well as an attached two-car garage. I would say the majority of this house has there's a mixture of some traditional elements and some somewhat contemporary elements. The main roof of the house is red cedar. The roof over the garage.
Mini set.
Pardon me?
Mini set.
Yes.
Please.
You like the small sets?
Yeah.
Okay. We are proposing a metal roof over the garage that is a brown, non-reflective, kind of copper patina color, as well as the bay windows on the front. The rest of the roof of the house is red cedar. The siding on this house is proposed as like a beige-colored stucco, and the soffits are going to be mahogany. So there's a sort of an accent on the mahogany and the beige colors and the browns here. So there's no other colors other than the browns and the beiges on this house, but it has some different coloration than perhaps some of the typical areas. We did look at about a dozen homes in the village that have this style of roof. The most recent was a new home on Meeting House Lane that was built maybe 2 years ago. But the main part of this roof is red cedar.
The north side of the street?
Yes.
Same roof material?
Yes.
Yeah, colored
It's a turncoat, standing seam.
About 6 houses in from the end.
That's correct.
So the entire roof on the garage is copper?
It's the roof is not really copper. It is a brown colored metal roof that has an aging kind of aesthetic to it that it's meant to look like a copper patina roof.
It's dark bronze, and it imitates bronze copper.
And we're using a lot of mahogany on the soffits, and the house has kind of the cleaner, a little bit cleaner roof lines. And we thought that on Bishop's Lane that this would be appropriate. There's a number of different things going on Bishop's Lane. It's a nice secluded lot, and we do have a landscaping plan that we submitted as well.
Where's the landscape plan?
Oh, I submitted it to the village office. You did? I have a copy if you guys need.
Let's look at it.
I also submitted photos of the existing screening on both sides and back. It's very high.
Just for clarification, Michael, all these windows are, they're just plain, no light cuts at all?
No light cuts.
Okay.
No light cuts.
That's the
proposed. It's a little bit of a different
landscape.
It's been a kind of a collaborative effort with Gary and myself. I've seen some of the things that he's built, and not to critique the two-dimensional or one-dimensional drawings, but this has a lot more depth and character to it than sometimes a CAD drawing would show. It's really attractive.
Brian, comments?
The only issue I have is with the front elevation. It just seems like the fenestration of the whole front with these smaller horizontal windows are just out of balance for me, especially the large one up in the pediment.
Yeah.
And then the smaller ones, there's like one on the stair, and then you're just mimicking it on the other side. It's something a little out of whack.
Brian, if I can address your questions. Do you think that,
as far as that gable is concerned,
oh, sorry.
We talked about a couple of things.
That's much more appropriate to me.
I have two copies.
You want to stamp that in and let everybody see it?
I have two copies.
I'm going to split it, right? Just draw a line down the middle of it?
No, it's smaller.
We changed the
Perfect.
proportion. We
Done.
changed the proportion a little bit.
Yeah, it looks so much better.
And 3 windows in the center instead of that bay window?
Yeah, we can see that.
Perfect.
Much
I
better.
don't have any issues.
Yeah.
Christine? Brian?
Big improvement.
With the adjustments.
Pam?
With the adjustments of the gable window and the 1-to-3 ratio of above the shed dormer, I think it's appropriate. I would have liked to have seen a sample of the stucco though, but I know you've done a lot of projects within the village, and you're saying it's a beige stucco and the pattern is smooth.
Yeah, it's actually an off-color, so it's,
Can you explain the patina? So, other than that, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Any public comment on the application? Motion to approve?
With the changes.
Over here.
Okay.
Are you requesting?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the application of Robert M. Robert at 79 Bishop Lane with the changes that are on the plans that we've just been
Amended
given.
plans received August 14th.
Second. Received on August.
Moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
Next application without the recall is Jim Miller, 30 Halsey Avenue, for construction of two-story single-family with an attached garage.
Good evening, Nicholas Vero, architect for the Millers.
Nick, can you give us just a minute, please? Thank you.
Yeah. let's do that, yeah.
Minor color change. And then revise the landscape plan.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm giving you mini sets.
Thank you.
Are there any changes from your mini sets to your
There's
file
some
set?
minor things, there's some clarifications.
What are the
on
minor
some
things?
material. Actually,
We'll go through the application just briefly.
We walk
Give
through
me a
the
second.
any changes that you have from the mini sets.
Yeah, just a second. Let's get the plans.
Thank you. For the record, affidavit of mailing with receipts and affidavit of posting and a site plan, 4 copies. Can we skip this?
Yeah, let's share this one.
See.
Okay. The only changes that we made, we just, colors did not change, we're doing a red cedar roof, it's a shingle style house. We just clarified, the board is an AZAC, we're not gonna be doing AZAC, we're still gonna be doing a white trim board, but they're gonna be painted pine. But we just called out for white trim, where you see
One
the
second.
details. Those are the clarifications on there.
Can I see the survey?
Just silly stuff, one more time, sorry. Roof material is what?
Red cedar.
Okay, brick is what?
The brick is I believe the Dusty Rose, it should be on the,
Okay.
should be on
And
there.
the siding is,
Siding also red cedar, we're gonna let that weather naturally.
and what is the casing size?
Casing sides are 4.5 inches.
5 quarter by 4, okay.
5 quarter by 4.
And why do you have this, is that a stair tower that's projecting over the front door?
sorry,
Coming
say
out
that
into
again?
the roof line, above the front door?
There's no stair tower, that's our front
I'm sorry,
entry
I
for
meant
you.
the stair tower, I'm sorry, but why is there projection coming out above the, it appears that it's locking into the roof?
That plane is in line with the plane of the
Of the
front
house.
door, yes,
Of
of
the
the front
front door.
door. So then the bedroom behind them, the second floor steps back, and that helps us create our, if you look at the floor plan. You can see it on the floor plan. So it's in line, it's not projecting out from the house, it's just a part of the entry foyer.
Christine, comments?
No, not right now.
Brian?
Any pictures of the street?
Yes, they should be in your file. very hard to take pictures on the street because there's just obviously very high hedges, which I would like to point out. When you see the elevation of the existing house, the only area that doesn't have a hedge on it is the front of this piece of property. So if you look at my landscape plan, we'll be filling that in with a 6 to 8 foot high. Pretty nice.
Can I see the survey one more time?
Brian, anything further?
Should be in there.
Oh,
There
yeah.
they are.
What's your front yard setback? Sorry, Brian. What's your front yard
40.
setback?
The closest is 40 feet to that width before it breaks off, if you look at where the property skews a little bit.
40 feet?
45?
45 feet?
Yes, 45, I apologize.
It's an interesting way it skews, huh?
Yes. And it really doesn't read that way when you're on the street.
Yeah. Odd.
Anything further, Brian?
No, I really like the house. When I first saw it, I thought it was on Halsey Street. And so I went to Halsey Street thinking it was
When I
very
first looked at the
appropriate for
property.
Halsey Street. And then when I got over there, there's such a mismatch of houses on that street. And it's very dense on the north side. But what's on this side, I mean, there's some really bad.
Christine?
What comments?
Right.
Our backyard.
No, I like the house.
Esther?
No.
Pam?
Nice work.
Oh, it's great. It's a lot of work to put it in there, but it's not shoehorned. It looks nice.
No,
balanced.
actually, it's probably one of the largest lots in
Yeah,
that whole area.
105 feet wide.
Exception of,
It's nice.
Any public comment on the application? Any public comments on the application? Please step
Do you have
forward,
any-
please. Your name for the record?
Hi, Mackie Finnerty. We're adjoining property owners on the back of the house. We just want to know where the pool equipment is going to be.
Here's the survey.
The pool equipment is gonna be located in the back of the house, and I think we set it back 20 feet off the rear property line. I don't know if I was clear on that on my, on the plan that you just had.
It's the survey that I handed to.
Will it be in that shed or
No,
separate?
it can't be in closed space, but it will be set back 20 feet off the property line, but I can put that, wherever. I can move it to the north, I'm sorry, I can move it to the southeast corner of the property, so tell me where you are. I'll tell you.
We're on your southern, we run, of course, your
You're
whole
here?
southern boundary.
That's
Yeah,
you?
this is us, yeah.
The pool equipment is gonna be located right there.
Okay.
Because it has to be,
Not in
We're
the
giving a
shed.
little levity, but you understand that the pool's not within the jurisdiction of this board.
Right. We're just wondering where the noise is going to be.
Oh,
Basically.
understood.
It cannot be in the shed by code, so,
Okay.
but we will have it in this corner right here, so probably about 25 feet off of your property line.
There are ways of dropping those in the ground a bit so that they're quieter and hedging them up. I'm sure you'll try to.
Not within our jurisdiction, that's a
Not within our
conversation.
jurisdiction, but it's nice to do that with your neighbors.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have any questions about the aesthetics of the project?
No, no. Yeah, it will be a huge improvement.
Yes, it will.
And they seem good neighbors. They're already neighbors.
Wait till the noise breaks out.
They do have a lot of laughing in their swimming pool, I must say now.
Laughter's good for the soul.
Laughter is
Any
good.
additional comments?
Thank you.
All right. Motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the application of Jim Miller at 30 Halsey Avenue.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recall?
Recall.
Recall Alfred Steiner, 82 Pheasant Close North.
What'd you come up with, guys?
So we spoke to Mr. Steiner, and he's considering going with no grill pattern at this point. He feels that if
Excuse me?
he's considering going with no grill pattern on that front, he just doesn't want to make that change.
So you're proposing absolutely no grill pattern?
No grill patterns on the entry door, transoms above the doors, and the 4 picture windows in the top-out dormer. We also edited the tails of the eyebrow with more in keeping of other eyebrows that are in the neighborhood. Like I said, the reason on the original submission for the eyebrow was just, it's part of my CAD blocks on drawing the house.
The eyebrow looks nice, the way it is.
Yeah, that's what they were gonna go with all along, but like I said, it was And we also did a mock-up of the full size.
Brian, comments?
I think it's a big improvement. I would have rather seen the diamonds, but I think it's fine. Yep.
Esther?
I agree. I think it's a huge improvement. The one thing that I'm wondering is if this grow pattern should just continue straight across here. But I'm fine with it. I think it's a very big improvement.
Christine?
I think it's an improvement. I really do.
Han?
I think it's good, looks good, it's appropriate. Again, I think that there could have been a little bit more attention to detail, but with this, with your notes and so forth, I'm fine with it.
I think it achieves what you wanted, that the front
Definitely
is
achieves what
different
you wanted.
than the side. So
I have no,
compete with it.
I have no objection to it, so, and I know that you're, in the interest of time.
Thank you.
Looking forward to go forward. You do realize that if for some reason later on in the in the construction process, you decide to add any additional elements, you have to come back before the board.
You will come back.
I will.
Okay.
We have
And you do know that you're going to be back here for a pool application or a pool house application, fencing, gates, and so forth, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No.
Motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the application of Alfred Steiner at 82 Pheasant Close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Leftover minutes from July 24th. All members present?
You know those from Candace, I did check them, I'm sorry.
You were not here.
I was not.
All right, all members had the opportunity to review.
Mhm.
Questions, comments,
Was
concerns?
there unusual activity during that meeting?
No, none at all.
Okay.
Errors, the admission?
You'd never know by the minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know, I couldn't believe it. Those were minutes I really was looking forward to reading.
Me too. Me too.
The videotape is
Like
better,
that.
trust me. Videotape's much better. Motion to approve the minutes from the 24th.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from July 24th, 2013.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And motion to close August 14th, meeting of the Architectural Board of Review and Historic Preservation.
Go ahead, Ed.
I make a motion to close the August 14th meeting of the Board of Architectural Review and Historic Preservation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Good night.